Mods, this comment is so funny. This is so good. 9:27 a.m. in the moderation log channel and Discord. They got timed out for 24 hours for this. By the way, you know how NL always talks about the material the head of the penis is made of? Well, I was thinking cum has to be related in some way to the material spider webs are made of. Did they really? I mean, I sort of feel for the bannee in this case. Because that's the tone of how I talk on stream. And then you come into the Discord and drop that as your first message, and you get timed out for 24 hours. I can understand why you would be surprised by that. I can understand why you would be surprised by that. Well, it's a good thing you have no control over things. Origin, low key, you're actually right. I like that we have independent branches of legislation in the Discord. I think it's good. I think it's good that I can have influence, but I don't have carte blanche, and you can have input, but you don't have carte blanche. I think it's good because I mean, let's be honest. You guys were like, we want to ban VKN, and I was like, don't ban VKN. 98% of their chat in the Peloton community is normal, and then you guys said, okay, we won't ban him, but he has a bubble shield, okay? And then he keeps getting timed. He gets timed out like once a week. He's been timed out like 5 times. And I think he might be in trouble at this point. Last time he got checked out or timed out was because he posted a link to like some Gooner Gamer Subs page or something like that. I was like, I did what I could, man. I did what I could. I don't see the issue. The issue is that it wasn't Super Creek. I think it's good, man. I think it's good. She is super creaky. David Beckham not looking so hot these days. We gotta let men get old again, man. I know, listen, I'm not taking anything away from the struggle with women's body images, for once. But we gotta let men get old. We got, the celebrities that were famous for being hot are getting old, and now they're starting to look like wax, man. We gotta stop with the pressure on the male body image, because the David Beckham Ninja Creamy ad, he's not looking right. He's looking a little bit Madame Tussauds. What does the title mean? Apollo, the district sleeps alone tonight. That's track 1 off of the Postal Service's only album. The district sleeps alone the night after. The bars turn out their lights, but we made it root beer themed, bro. We root beered it. The root beer sleeps alone the night after. The Barks takes out their bite. Something like that. Thank God Silk Song comes out tomorrow. Have fun, buddy. Have fun with the kind of discourse that shows up in terminally online Silk Song chat the instant it comes out. I can't wait to see the kind of unhinged takes that we get in there. Buying groceries is classist, something like that. I'm putting my money on that. I'm putting my money on buying groceries is classist. It's not woke to study history because only rich people had literacy in the medieval era. Some really pressing concerns that are relevant to modern life. Looking forward to seeing what kind of mysteries get unraveled on Thursday morning when Silk Song comes out. We'll be playing Everybody's Golf. When the bug is gay, so true. 2 genres! 2 genres! Yeah, it's probably my favorite Postal Service song. Well, it's tough, because everybody said I was virtue signaling for saying it's the dream of Evan and Chan. But it's not. That might be the best. But if you're going to force me to pick something off Give Up, it's probably District. Otherwise, I like the whole album. I like We'll Become Silhouettes When Our Bodies Finally Go. Ba, 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 ba. Nothing Better is way too saccharine for me. I know we've done this before. I'll be your platform shoes, undo what heredity's done to you. You won't have to strain to look into my eyes. It's just, I'm 36 years old. I can't be playing that. That's not Nothing Better. That's the other one. What's it called? That's Brand New Colony. Whatever. 2 songs. There's only 2 songs. Such Great Heights clears. Yeah, if you're Zach Braff in 2004. I mean, it's on the Peloton playlist, but District mogs it, as far as I'm concerned. District still mogs it. I love that, like, that Tim Follin square wave at the start of the song. And then it has, I love a stutter step electrical drum, or electronic drum. Such Great Heights is good, man. It's a little twee. Give Up Son or Graceland Daughter. Okay, Give Up, one of the best albums of the 2000s, if you're into that sort of thing. Kind of like End Stage, Los Campesinos type twee. No, it's not tough. Graceland's one of the best albums of all time. I mean, you got The Boy in the Bubble, Graceland, You Can Call Me Al, Diamonds on the Soles of Her Shoes, Gumboots. I listen to Graceland like 25 times a year, front to back. It might be my most listened to album of all time. There is a fucking girl in New York City who calls herself the human trampoline, buddy. And sometimes when I'm falling and flying, tumbling in turmoil, I say, oh, this is what she means. She means we're bouncing into motherfucking Graceland, bro. Do you have her number? Can I get your number? Graceland X Mad TV coming to StockX this Black Friday. What did Paul Simon mean by that? Nobody knows. Dude is literally 5'1", okay? I don't concern myself with his opinion. But the songs, I've heard the songs, and they're beautiful. I don't care if he stole them from Ladysmith Black Mombasa. I don't have to be Platt to Yins. I wrote Diamonds on the Soles of Her Shoes. I don't have to talk to Yins Plattly. The easy shower trick that prevents mold and grime. You ever, like, as a kid, they really lead you to believe that cleaning your house is like a constant war against an unrelenting foe. When it's really like, it's not that serious. They'll be showing you ads where like once a week they take out their shower drain and like submerge it in detergent and stuff like that. No, man. No, you just tidy up every day. And then once a month you're like, I'll give it a little. And you're good to go. Add another child into the mix. It never ends. Don't care, didn't ask. Plus you're rich. Plus you only have one kid. If I had 8 kids, it would be like, well, your kids are helping you. Yeah, try saying that when you don't have 8 kids helping you clean the house. Like there's always some reason that my point of view is irrelevant and yours is the only one that's honest. Meanwhile, you're here, it's fucking 9:40 a.m. on a Wednesday. You're trying to tell me you're a normal representation of society. Shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about, man. You don't get it at all. That might work on other streamers, but occasionally I interface with normies. I know what normies look like. I know what they sound like. I know how they dress. I know their hobbies. I know their parlance. I hide amongst them. You guys are not normies. I knew normies, sir, and you are no normie. There's a little story for you. I bought a new PC on the weekend. It was in-store pickup. In-store pickup. By the way, I have to plant my flag first here. Wells Fargo, i.e. this is in California. Wide-angle lens flare. Yep, I'm thinking it's the new Matrix. Anyway, give me a second here. So I bought a new PC on Saturday. And it had in-store pickup. That's fine. Doesn't bother me. I enjoy getting out of the house a little bit. 3 seconds after I ordered it, it was like it's ready to pick up. That was on Saturday. Couldn't make it on Saturday. Like I bought it during the window that I had to do something while my daughter was at an activity. Sunday, didn't get around to it. Monday, a holiday. So I said, Tuesday, I got to pick it up. Because they said, pick it up within 3 days or we'll cancel your order. So I drive 35, 40 minutes out to the computer shop. And I get there and they're like, what's your order pickup number? And I give it to them, and they go, okay, let me check the back. And then the dude goes out into the back. With my kid, by the way, with my kid who hates driving. So, like, this was already, it was kind of nasty. But I bargained with her. I took some Calpico in the car. I took some goldfish in the car. Loaded her up, drove all the way out there. He goes and checks the cage. He's like, it's not in the cage, but I think I can see it. I'm going to go around to the warehouse and bring it out. I say, no problem. He's gone 5-10 minutes. I'm busting my rotator cuff or something like that, trying to help my daughter hit like a double jump inside of the store. He comes out and he's like, I'm not sure what's going on, but we can't find your order. I'm not sure why it was marked ready. Let me talk to my manager. So then he goes and talks to his manager, and his manager comes over and is like, oh, actually, okay, so it was a mistake that it was marked ready for pickup, but we have it. We just need to do a reset on it so it's like good to go. And I said, that's no problem. How long will that take? And he was like, it might take a few hours. So we recommend that you come back later. And I said, you know what? That's no problem. Shit happens. Okay? So I load up my daughter in the car. I'm like, I'll just come back tomorrow. While we're driving home, she's like, I gotta go potty. So it's like 4:30 p.m. I pull into a coffee shop, buy a coffee that I know I can't drink because if I drink it, I won't fall asleep. Get the bathroom code. She goes in the bathroom. I go in the bathroom. We get the coffee. I'm not touching it. I'm putting the coffee in the far cup holder so that I don't drink it. Made the drive all the way home. Get home. I swear to you, one missed call 2 minutes before I got into the garage. And it said, hey, your order is ready if you want to come pick it up. As I had just, like, literally, if it had been like a 2-hour wait and just me, that's no problem. I would have gone to the mall. I would have maybe gone to the bookstore or something like that. That's no issue whatsoever. But me and my kid, I'm like, I gotta get them home. You know, they need to eat some spaghetti for dinner. I gotta make sure because school's starting this week. We gotta get it going. We go again. We go tonight. And but I teched it. I put the coffee in the fridge. I had the coffee this morning. So the coffee wasn't a complete waste. And by the way, don't be annoying. I won't have time to set up the new PC until Saturday. So there will not be a new PC ARC on stream until Monday at the earliest. So I think there's a chance this is the Matrix Resurrections, man. It's obviously not. I think there's a chance this is it's widescreen. You know what this looks like? This looks like The Rock. This looks like when they do the they do the heist at the military base at the start of The Rock. It looks like it might be Mulholland Drive. But I think this is a red herring. But I'm going to put it anyway because you have to put it. Steve Buscemi, Los Angeles. Steve Buscemi, Los Angeles. That's not young Buscemi either. That's like that might be late 90s, early 2000s. You're freaking me out because you look like someone. Who do you look like, man? 1 second, you're freaking me out, dude. And it might not be fair because it might be a guy I know. It might not be like a guy you know. It might just be a guy that I know. Who do you look like? This is freaking me out, man. This is freaking me out. Maybe Elijah Wood. I think you might have gotten me with Elijah Wood. People saying Tom Waits. I worry for you. This he has a hat on and an orange button-up shirt. He looks nothing like Tom Waits. Tom Waits has forehead wrinkles you could swipe a credit card through, which is fair because he's like literally 80 years old. You look like someone and you're freaking... But I think you're like an internet guy. You look like an internet guy, but I don't know who it is, man. Bill Skarsgård, you're so real. That's Bill Skarsgård. I don't know what this is. Is this, I do know what this is. This is the Ralph Fiennes movie, directed by Catherine Bigelow. Oh, it should be in my head. I can see his long hair. Oh, wait, no, never mind. It's Escape from L.A. I was thinking of Strange Days. You're right. I was thinking of... Let me see if people were guessing Strange Days on this one. Nope. Not at all. Dude, at drop-off today, I talked so much sports. Oh, it felt so good. All the dads... We didn't get our fantasy football league going, but all the dads who wanted to play fantasy football got into, like, different leagues. We were all talking about our drafts. I was like, how did you do in your draft? Dude said he got Saquon Barkley. I said, that's pretty good. Then he said he was pick 2. I said, paid him a little lip service. So I was like, I don't know if I would have taken Saquon pick 2 personally. It depends who goes 1. If you're in like a normal PPR league, I don't know who goes 1 in a normal PPR league. Maybe Bijan Robinson? Jamar Chase. Yeah, Jamar Chase makes sense. How'd your draft go? Yahoo AI gave me an A+. That is, that's John Bernthal, for sure, who looks so much like a Virtua. If you just take his face off, he looks so much like a Virtua Fighter character. And then you are Elizabeth Banks. I did that. It revealed itself to me immediately after I removed John Bernthal's head. That's Elizabeth Banks, 100%. That's a crazy hairline, man. That's messed up. You know what? The only other place I've seen this this hairline is the guy who played Flash in Spider-Man 2002. Who was probably, at the time, I was like, yeah, that's what a high school senior looks like. But watching the movie now, I'm like, he's actually like at least 32 years old in the movie. But these wounds won't seem to heal. The pain is just too real. I mean, I have to assume it's Wake Me Up Inside. But it's possible it could be Going Under. I just don't want to hear the whole song in my head. Cause all in you, I'm falling up, falling. Wake Me Up? It's not Wake Me Up, y'all. It's My Immortal. I don't know that. That one's a VC. Wake me up when it's all over. When I'm wiser. I know that. I've heard that one on Ubers before. All this time I was finding myself. Didn't know I was lost. I know that one. I will say, Northern Europe is not beating the stereotypes. When our cruise docked in, I think it was Haugesund, Norway, which is a town population like 15,000. They had a dude in a like a quarter zip DJing to welcome us to southwestern Norway, and he was doing like nobody was dancing or anything, but he was hitting the turntables and going like, I was like, that's not something they just pretend to be into. Like they love the DJs, man. I don't get it at all, but more power to you. I do not understand it, but fair enough, man. I don't know. I'm from the land of guitars. Okay, I don't want to talk about this one. Let's just click through it. Which has more monthly searches? LGBTQ? Not even close, man! Get me out of here. More monthly streams. Zendaya or Rihanna? It's Rihanna for sure. John Bellion. Is he one of the sidemen? It's Rihanna. Logan Paul. Wow. You know what? You do not have to hand it to Logan Paul. He kind of nailed the album cover, though. He has one song that I know. And the one song that I know is It's Everyday, bro. I have to imagine. But he has podcasts. Do podcasts count as streams? That's Jake Paul? Oh, that's Jake Paul. Okay, he clears. The real question that I would ask about the number of Bach streams is what percentage of these Bach streams are like, oh, I could really go for some Bach right now, and what percentage of them are like, we have company coming over, put on the Bach. We have to trick our friends into thinking that we're cultured people who listen to classical music for fun. It's got to be Denzel Curry, right? He gets mugged by Johann Sebastian Bach, bro. Higher rating. Dune clears 13 Assassins. That's the wrong Dune. The poster loaded too slowly. That's a scam. Okay, Les Games, I saw you posting in chat. You posted the patch notes in chat. You scammed me. I want a replay today. I want you to go in, find my session data, and delete it so I can do it again. Okay? Because that's a damn scam. Did they make the globe bigger? South America didn't used to be this big in global. Am I being gang stalked? Do you hate me? How about like Mali, feel the good vibrations? So many females, so much inspiration. Togo? Libya? Fuck you, man. Are you serious? Spain? Oh my God. Portugal? Well, it was fucking Libyas. I like that one. Okay, this is just where I'm like, you know what? This game might be over. This is a petri dish full of agar that they fucked up the culture on. So there's like 4 dots after a week. Like that's you. I don't even know if you can see this. So like you're just trying too hard, is what I would say. The one thing I would think of is that maybe this is the Federated States of Micronesia, because this Nesia is as micro as any. Okay, well then now things become a problem. Maybe it's the Solomon Islands. That's like Solomon Islands have been good to me ever since I was a lowercase g. Are you South Georgia and the South Sandwich Islands? No, that's a stupid ass guess, man. So just equidistant between Heard Island and South Georgia and the South Sandwich Islands, huh? Kiribati? Any chance this is what Kiribati looks like? That's the Cook Islands, people. That's the Cook Islands. Christmas, Easter? Yeah, I think they're cooking. May 17th, 2024. That's last year, man. Paramount Pictures last year, not Top Gun Maverick, starring Kaylee Fleming. A story you have to believe to see. No, man. Right? Oh, it's Elf, the imaginary friend movie. I thought for sure it was going to be like God's Not Dead 6 or something like that. I'm stunned I haven't seen it yet. I mean, it's got Ryan Reynolds in it. It's got John Krasinski behind and in front of the camera. Behind and in front of the camera. Bobby Moynihan. Bobby Moynihan. Introducing Bobby Moynihan. Bobby Moynihan's in this, in case you didn't glean that. No one can stop the rain. I'm not sure if it's a great week for movies. It's a heater week for taglines, though. And Freya Allen in a West Ball movie. It's Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. KD was in this. Damn, man. He's had a crazy year. This shit came out like right in the middle of the season, too. He should have been getting ready for the play-in. I guess the Suns were kind of cooked by this time last year. Universal, $62 million, full set. Ryan Gosling last year, it's The Fall Guy. I think I was too harsh on this movie. I saw, this was in my my cinema arc, where I was like, my kid is 3, I get to go back to the movies. And I saw Exuma and Dune Part 2 in the span of 2 weeks. And I was like, the movies are back. And I saw this trailer 2 times, and I was like, overexposed, I'll never see it. But I heard it was pretty good. And also, I think that was like the second last time I've been to a movie theater, even though I want to go. The last time was definitely the Minecraft movie, but Amazon MGM, but it's not James Bond. Starring Zendaya? Did Amazon publish Challengers? Challengers? No, wait, I gotta know. Drama, romance, sport, they did. Publish is not the accepted term, by the way. I guess distribute, but you think some shit like that is happening at the US Open right now? I expected it to do better. It's always destined to be like, it made $1 billion on Twitter, let's put it that way. They are all sucking each other off. I haven't seen the movie. Libby, you should see it. It's a good movie. Normalize straight men making out with each other once on screen, maybe more. I don't know, maybe more off screen. You can be straight and kiss your guy friend once. I've never done. I'm saving it. I'm saving it till I befriend a real cutie. I've still got my bubble shield there. I haven't popped it yet. I'm saving it. Too good to use. Hair like a fucking triangle, man. Edmonton Oilers Hall of Fame. It's a damn scam. What's this dude's name that shouldn't be in there? Kevin Lowe. Yeah, you shouldn't be in there. What the hell are you doing in there? Los Angeles Kings Hall of Fame. My GOAT of being like the 6th most points in NHL history, Marcel Dion. Have I ever said this before? Bro looks a lot like Justin. I've never realized that before in my life. That's Justin, man. Is it given? It's Justin, man. I never realized. That's 100% Justin with the shoe polish hair. The shoe polish hair kind of goes crazy. I tell you, one of my favorite looks I've been seeing a lot lately is like 80-year-old man with a non-gray toupee. I feel like I've been seeing it a lot lately. Like a man whose face is really, really old, which is fine because his face is as old as he is. But then they have like a red toupee or something like that because they had red hair when they were a kid. And I'm like, it's a funny look, man. It's a funny look. Saw a really old guy at work today with jet black hair and a jet black mustache. That's Charles Bronson, bro. You work with Charles Bronson. We will not be playing Carter Hard on this. We'll be playing... There's a guy named Sanheim. Sanheim's pretty good, right? Yeah. Oh, dude! Someone pick me, man. Dude, Dude, sweet. Someone picked me in the Pogdoku. He's good, man. He's a one-time all-star, I think.
Dash, a verb meaning to move.
All right, NMix.
Duo, a noun meaning duet.
You know what's a sick word? Duotang. You don't hear it that much, like once you're out of school, but duotang is fucking sick, man. It's not, you don't have it in the US? You don't have duotangs? Duotang is like it's a folder that is very similar to a binder, but instead of the ring clips where you would like clip the paper in, it has two prongs. So you make the three sets of two prongs stand up, put the paper with the 3-hole punch into the prongs, and then put the prongs down. We have it, but we just call it a folder. But what if you said, give me a folder, and then I came back with a fucking folder that didn't have the duotang clips in it? You would be like, no, I want one of those folders with the fucking prongs in it. And I'd be like, oh, a duotang. Why didn't you say so, dummy? That's why we came up with that word, man. You need folder and duotang. Does it ever, like, do you ever have any moment of introspection where you realize how much you suck the cock of the status quo bias? Nothing can ever be better. Why do you have two words for two different things when you could just have one word for two things, and then if you bring the wrong thing, I'll just send you to get the right thing? You're the fucking king of the status quo bias, man. And I'm talking to all of you. Having non-English words sucks. Whether you find out about the English language, though, like we've been doing that for years, man. We've been stealing words for years. That one friend who's too woke, crediting other languages whenever he uses a loan word in English. This is biscuits and gravy. America was cooking with this one. Maybe they got to upgrade their cameras a little bit, but that's from the United States of America. 65%. Again, honestly, I'm defending America. You know, it takes a lot for me to do that. But it's not that I'm a fan of America necessarily. I'm just a fan of authenticity and honesty. It's one of the best tasting foods that's ever been invented. 35% of people saying pass is insane. That's more offensive to me. And don't hit me with it's bad for you. Because, a lot of this shit is bad for you. The dumplings are not good for you. It's so bad for you, I wouldn't eat it. You better have abs. That's my, and it might not be fair, but that's the watershed you have to pass if you're going to say, I wouldn't eat this shit. You have to have abs. If you have abs, good for you. You're doing what you need to do to keep the abs. If you don't have abs, and you're like, I wouldn't eat this, I feel like you're putting on airs. You could cut something else that doesn't taste as good as sausage gravy to eat a single bite of sausage gravy. You can eat healthy and not have abs. Yeah, but that's what people who don't eat that healthy say. They're always like, I eat healthy, I just don't have abs. And I'm like, it can't be that healthy or you'd probably have abs. -2, -2, -2. I'm warmed by the divine light of the Almighty, okay? You can't go to hell for saying the truth. So I'm sorry. Your -2s mean nothing to me. They're bouncing off the armor. Ping, ping, ping. I'm not killing the ab game, but that's because I eat healthy almost all day. Then 4 days a week, around 8:45 p.m., I just start shoveling granola into my mouth. I'm like, maybe I'll have a little granola before bed. And then before you know it, that adds up. It's not like you can't just be like, that doesn't count. That counts, man. It's going through the pipes. Granola's healthy. Not when you're eating as much of it as I am for no reason. Milk, flour, eggs, sugar, rennet, almonds, cream, butter, vanilla. And then people are going to be like, ooh, that looks good. I wouldn't touch that gravy. You know how fatty it is? Yum! Ice cream! Ice cream is good, though. You're not wrong about that. That being said, I think you have the light of artifice in your heart. That's offensive to me. I would eat that for sure. Explain it. Explain it to me. Show it to me, Rachel. Doesn't make any sense. The same logic you could apply to the sausage gravy applies to this. It looks better? Nah, you're lost. You got time to save yourself, but you're lost for now. We beat the average anyway. The white gravy looks gross. Lots of people who are saying it looks gross probably don't look the best themselves. That's one. Boom. So I caught you unawares. You didn't have your guard up. You didn't have your hands up. Secondly, lots of the most delicious foods on the planet look like cum and diarrhea. I no longer take you serious if you're 30 years old and you're like, oh, I wouldn't eat that. It looks like diarrhea. So does curry. Every curry on the planet looks like diarrhea. It tastes delicious. Fuck you. Grow up. Now, this, eat the rich. The most offensive part of this is the Nescafe. Never stood a chance against Japan. You ever have that thing where you read a word and you're like, whoa, they spelled fries wrong? And then you read it again and you're like, Fries. Wait, that's right. But it looks wrong. And then you're like, this is it. I'm about to have a stroke. And it has never been the time that I'm going to have a stroke yet. But one day it probably will be. I don't want to hold my arms over my head because I have sweaty armpits right now. My speech is not slurring. I can hold my arms over my head. What's the other one? My face isn't drooping any more than normal. I think we're back. I think this wins, man. Oh, I got 90%. Fair enough. It's hard to beat meat on fries, though. Oh. Hot dog versus donor burger. Sperm donor burger, judging by how it looks. That being said, I'll eat that shit. I don't care. The type of shit you be eating at Uma Musume and give you a debuff. Don't even talk to me about this fucking game, man. This fucking game pissing me off. 1100 speed, 1200 stand. Medro McQueen can't win the Ura finale because she's got a deficit of power. Well, okay, let me take a card from speed and put it on the power. Now you don't have enough speed to be a long ace anymore. What's the point, bro? What's the point? By whooping would-be suitors in wrestling, Genghis Khan's great-great-granddaughter amassed 10,000 of what critter? I don't know why I want to say kangaroo, man. Maybe I'll say cat. More than 5,000 years ago, people in modern-day Central Asia domesticated what pack animal that's been drawn on many a middle school folder? When I hear pack animal, I want to say elephant. But I don't think people are drawing that many elephants. They're more drawing like tiger. Maybe tiger? Mr. Ed is a horse. Oh my God. Horse? Horse is the... Why is everyone acting like I'm stupid? Pack of tigers? I don't know, man. I've never doodled a horse. When I doodle car. If my daughter says draw something, 100% of the time I'm drawing a car. I'm a car drawer when it comes to doodling. And despite mostly drawing cars, they've looked exactly the same level of shittiness since like the third grade. They look horrible. They're all like 1980s style sedans that are boxy as fuck. The windows don't line up right. Like the steering wheel always looks like a fucked up little like pilot's yoke. Elon's like, run that back. I'm not even going to say this shit, man. How didn't you get horse from Mongolia? Well, why would you need to beat someone in wrestling to get a horse in Mongolia? Like, wouldn't you just be like, just go to the store? You're Genghis Khan's great-great-granddaughter. Can't you just go to the store and be like, here's some ducats or whatever? Here, have like half of Hungary. Give me some horses. Also, thank you, by the way, for saying horses are not critters. Tigers are also not critters. We've already established that my answer is wrong. Now I'm taking issue with the way that they posed me the question. My answer is wrong. You don't need to come up with more reasons that it's wrong. It's wrong because it's not right. We don't need to go through the rigmarole. Which has a higher percentage of people who are gay and living with their spouse? It's Nashville, bro. 100%. It correlates like 1-to-1 with the rise of HGTV shows. And I'm pretty sure because they used to all be filmed in Vancouver, okay? And then something happened. I don't know if too many people were loving it in Vancouver and not enough people were listening it. They moved to Nashville. All those shows are in Nashville now, so it's 1-to-1. That's easy. Higher percentage of people in the arts, Minneapolis. Craig Finn and the other 13 dudes in the Hold Steady single-handedly clear. Higher percentage of people who have at least an undergrad, we're going to say the Beltway in Virginia. Who voted more for Biden? New York or Louisiana? I'm going to say New York. I got a hunch on that one. More adults with high blood pressure. Ooh, that's an interesting one. They do be eating a lot of French fry sandwiches around this part of the world. Then the Southwest has, well, I don't know. The Southwest is like smoking cigarettes in a casino at 5 a.m. and you can't tell me nothing. But then it's also like, hey, wake up, bitch, we're hiking. I'm going to go Reno. Oh, fuck. That's got to be close, though. This is the easiest Juxtastat of all time, man. 30 versus 33%. Come on. I want to meet the 2% that thought Louisiana voted more for. I guess they're probably just not from North America, but like still. dlguiga, do you think we should start dollar cost averaging into the lottery? I wanna run some lottery stuff by you, okay? Not a ridiculous. I don't think I'm gonna win the lottery. Let's start right there. But I think it might be fun. Buy a ticket for each draw and then check the numbers and be like, oh, maybe I'll win. Like that could be worth like $6 twice a week. But the other reason, and this is not fair, this is like contrarian. The other reason I wanna buy lottery tickets is because people say that the lottery is a tax on the stupid. It would go so hard to be like, oh yeah, how stupid is it to have $60 million that I won from the lottery, bitch? It would go so crazy to to do a money spread on someone who said the lottery's an idiot tax and be like, well, tax this, buddy. There's more where that came from. That would go so crazy. Because I was looking it up this morning and Google returned a search from like R Vancouver, the Vancouver subreddit, that was like, do you play the lottery in Vancouver? And so many people left comments that I consider despicable. Like the most despicable that showed up often was, no, the lottery's a tax on stupid people. That being said, I do gamble now and then. I do put a little bit of money on sports. And occasionally I'll play a slot machine. And I'm like, that's way worse, dude. One dude wrote a comment that said, like, I gamble on sports, but I would never play the lottery. It seems stupid to gamble when you don't have an advantage. And I'm like, do you work for the team? Like, what do you mean you have an advantage in sports gambling? James Holzhauer's not posted on r/Vancouver, man. Like, the dude was really like, wow, I don't have a system. There were some cursed auto-completed, like, Google results. Like, one was, what are the luckiest numbers you can have for the BC lottery? And I was like, if you're searching that, like, you should probably not be allowed to buy lottery tickets, because that's not, that doesn't make any fucking sense. But also, are you stupid? If they had a webpage with the luckiest numbers, bro, then everyone would play those and your payout would be proportionally lower. Oh, come on. I think I might start dollar cost averaging into the lottery, man. And it is really not fair. But a lot of it is motivated by the smug, like, know-it-allness of the anti-lottery crowd. Like, I saw another one that was like, it was a calculator, and it was like, on average, you lose 41% of every dollar that you invest in the lottery. And I was like, MJ, huh? You're telling me the lottery is not a good investment? Wow, this is the first time ever hearing of this. I guess I'm going to stop putting 12% of my income into the lottery every paycheck. You say this, but people literally do that. Yeah, but I'm like, I guess I'm not trying to be rude. I guess I'm just smarter than that. I think I'll just do it as a laugh. I'll just do it as a lark. Oh no, we won $60 million again. Oh, whoops. Sorry. Money spread. Let's go band for band. Oh, you don't have that Lotto Max money? Sorry, bro. I guess you lost the argument online. Fuck, that would be so good. I would win so many arguments if I just won the lottery even a single time. Oh, well, oh, that's an appeal to fucking, how my nuts taste? How my nuts taste? 60 million on your forehead. God, that would be sick. You can't lose. You can't lose if you win the lottery, man. Oh, the taxes? You don't even get taxed on lottery winnings in Canada, which is crazy. But also, Googling, it's so aspirational to Google, like, do you pay tax on lottery winnings? Like, if you're Googling that, you've already bought the dream. Imagine failing the skill testing question. Dude, do Americans know that? Do Americans know that to win McDonald's Monopoly in Canada and get a free drink, you have to answer, like, what's 9 times 5 minus 3? And you gotta do that shit at the counter with the pen that they give you, man. This is like a 96-degree angle. This is Peter Forsberg. Boiling. 97. 98. 99. No! Are you fucking kidding me, man? It was 100. Oh, boiling. Fire. Hot. Lava. Evil beer salesman at the Toronto Blue Jays game. 1909 births, 1997 deaths. Elvis Presley. This is Elvis Presley's manager, who I don't know the name of. Colonel Tom Parker. That's him right there. I know the clip. I know the clip from the Baz Luhrmann movie. I thought the clip was edited the first time I saw it because it's so funny.
What?
American male characters in television who are scientists and engineers who are fictional drug dealers. That's Walter White, bro. Wait. Male film? I guess he's probably a fictional highest. Yes, this is Walter White. I was like, film villains, but I guess he's kind of the... I don't see him as a villain. I see him as the good guy because he's the main character, but 1981 songs that are Billboard number ones, written by Paul McCartney and Stevie Wonder. This is Ebony and Ivory, man. It's so funny hearing that this song is like controversial because the most controversial place you'll hear it these days is probably like on an elevator or something like that. How'd you know that? I was kind of like, I wasn't alive like when it came out, but it still, I was living in like the echo of it. I don't listen to Stevie Wonder past 1980. Oh, well, you're missing out on True to Your Heart from the Mulan soundtrack featuring 98 Degrees. He's got a fucking... I love the tone of the synth or whatever it is on Isn't She Lovely? It's so fucking, like, it's got like an accordion sort of like breathiness to it. And then he hits the harmonica. So I'm about to hit like a 17 anecdote combo. So I've been listening to more Bob Dylan again. Sorry, but he's the GOAT. I'm laughing. Track 1 off of the Rolling Thunder review is Tonight I'll Be Staying Here With You. Maybe the best live version of a song he's ever done. Track 2 is the kind of semi-ska version of It Ain't Me, Babe. It always makes me laugh because he finishes singing like 2 minutes into the song, and the song's about 4.5 minutes long. So he finishes singing, and then the band kind of grooves for like a minute, and nobody in the crowd does anything. And then he hits the harmonica in the last 45 seconds, and they go fucking nuts. They're like, how long is he gonna tease us, man? Two songs, no harmonica? The crowd erupts when he pulls out the harmonica. It's crazy. Good song. It's got some fucking... The lyric... you know what? I think Bob Dylan's worst lyrics are some of his best. Go away from my window. Leave at your chosen speed. No shit, dude. That's what I do always, I guess. I'm not the one you want, babe. Terrible blonde on blonde impression. Listen, kid. It Ain't Me, Babe is probably on... I don't know. It might be Bringing It All Back Home, but it's way earlier than that. And also, this shit's from the 70s. Bro was gleeked out, okay? If you haven't heard the Rolling Thunder Review Bootleg Series Part 5, shut the fuck up. Injured by a third party. Injured strikes me as the direction. Third parties. Parties, I want to say, is a quinceañera. Party strikes me as a definition. Let me see an indicator. Injured. Some neighboring letters are injured or hurt. Okay, well, by a third is 8 letters long. Birthday. You fucker. Today is your birthday! Da-da-da-da-da-da. It's my birthday too, yeah! You say you had a good time! That's huge. That is kind of like Mariah, man. It's on another side of Bob Dylan. I'm not fucking with that dude, okay? I'm not fucking with that dude until It's All Right, Ma, I'm Only Bleeding. I'm not fucking with any of the come gather around children, wherever you roam. That's not my fucking fight, okay? I'm starting at Bringing It All Back Home, and I'm riding it through until Desire, and then I'm hopping off, and I'm getting back on at Time Out of Mind. Freewheeling's essential. Ain't no use to sit and wonder why, babe. If and you don't know by now, I'll pick and choose a couple of good ones. Nashville Skyline, no shot, man. Kermit the Frog album, third best album the Muppets ever made. Call me when he does a Talking Heads cover again. I'm a Blood on the Tracks guy. You, me, and everyone we know, brother. Miranda July. I was gonna stick my tongue out for some reason. I don't know. I'm kind of on one right now. One, three. Working Billy night at a 5 and dime. My boss was Mr. Burry. Every guy was away with something, doing nothing. There's something there. NES type song. It's kind of hurting my head. So low, it's hurting my head. It's Dancing in the Dark. It really is Bruce Springsteen. I should have known, man, from the 1, 2, 3, hey! It's a good song. It's a good song. It's hurting my head, man. It's hurting my damn head. You know, there's people on the planet that like prefer Bryan Adams to Bruce Springsteen. Insanely fucked up. That's the median voter, y'all. Get used to it. We're stuck with them. You get one trip on this big blue marble. Look at the fuckers we're surrounded with. It's crazy, man. We got to be the change we want to see in the world. It's insane the types of the electricians and plumbers they've saddled us with, man. Aren't you supposed to take the Canadian in the fight? Bruce Springsteen is honestly, as far as I'm concerned, more of a Canadian than Bryan Adams. Even if his number one genre is Americana. Bryan Adams can... I don't even know. He might have like good opinions, but his songs are so bad that he's evil to me. If you want to be less evil, write one song that's half as good as your average Bruce Coburn song, and then maybe we'll talk. Until then, you're evil, as far as I'm concerned. The people who listen to him are evil. Put it that way. You used to be a force to be reckoned with. Now you're a farce to be reckoned at. I'm sorry, it's not as good as You're the Type of Fish to Be Bragging About Catching the Hook. That one was pretty good, or whatever it was. I like the idea. I'm the type of fish the hook should be afraid of. You're the type of fish that would brag about catching the bait. Yeah. I'm about to level up. You look like just enough XP. One of my worst nightmares is being murdered by a guy who laughs funny, right? Can you imagine, like, getting held up at gunpoint and then the dude's like, I bet you never saw this coming. I'd be like, oh, fuck. That would suck so much ass, man. And if he laughs like that, I'm like, there's no way I'm talking my way out of this. He's already decided. We're back, y'all. There's DLC for a difficult game about climbing. You saying there's something in the water? Oh! Kendrick was right. Something in the water, man. It's so crazy to me. People would rather play whatever you want. It's crazy to me that there's individuals on planet Earth that would rather watch somebody play Hollow Knight than watch someone play this. But that's whatever, man. You've been waiting a long time for Silk Song. I shouldn't be punching down. How funny would it be? It wouldn't be that. It'd be tragic. But it would be funny if they delayed it at the last minute tomorrow, but whatever. How do you know Kerry Wood? One of the best pitchers in World Series Baseball 2003 on the Xbox. Until he irreparably ruined his shoulder, I think. Whoa! That's true. They have Kerry Wood, Kerry Underwood, but they don't have a Kerry Overwood yet. Maybe like a next America's Got Talent, they can work on that one. He got 20 strikeouts in one game. Now that's a good number, man, because there's only 27 outs in a game. So to strike out 27 people, that's pretty amazing. Maybe more with extra innings. If you end up going to extra innings and you've pitched 9 innings, you should be allowed to use a baseball bat to hit a member of your offense, because that's insane. If you pitched a complete game and went to extra innings, you should be allowed to break your DH's knee with an aluminum baseball bat. Dude, all the dads at school were talking about starting F1 next year too. Fantasy, not the real sport, but the fantasy version of it, fantasy F1. So now I gotta pretend to be an F1 head. I was hitting them with stuff like, yeah, I used to watch, but back when I watched, it was just like, what's the point? Mercedes wins every race, and they were like, buddy, you might want to sit down. You know how like the silver team won every race that one year you watched F1? Well, there was like a few years where like the red team, not that red team, but the other red team won like every race. And now the orange team wins every race. I'm like, damn, this is kind of crazy, man. I also feel like I had to ask them too, and it made me look like a nephew. But that's okay, because I'm used to being an unk. So sometimes to be a nephew is okay. I was like, isn't it easy? Like if you draft first, don't you just take like the best guy or the best constructor and you're guaranteed to win the league? And they were like, no, dude, there's like a budget system. So you have like a salary cap, and you can only fill up your salary cap with like a few drivers, like 5 drivers and 2 constructors or something like that. I was like, oh, write that down, write that down. When does the F1 season start? Like May? Whoa! March. You're giving me aura. Because I said, when does the season start? March. And then one of the dads said, I'm pretty sure Australia's in May. Oh, really? Not what my chat says, bro. Australia's third now? They're changing everything up, man. What's first now? It used to be Australia, Bahrain, China. Now Bahrain's first. Now I've heard everything. Japan's actually in the 4th position now. That's actually huge for a guy like me who never made it to Japan in the F1 video games, because it's after Monaco. Every F1 video game, I would play the season up till Monaco, and then on Monaco be like, fuck this. And then restart a career or never play the game ever again. Put all the dads in a ring, only one gets out. Is it you? No shot. We got some mixed martial artists in the group. I think I'd probably settle somewhere around the median if I had to guess. Might be able to stage an upset and get into like the upper quartile or something like that. Who dies first? I don't really feel comfortable speculating on that. These are real people in my life. Whose kid is the strongest? Now that's real, man. There's one girl in my daughter's class that's like at least 3 inches taller than all the other girls. And like my pet theory, well, my real belief is that she's just really tall. My conspiracy theory is that they fudged her birth year by 1 year. And now they're hoping nobody notices. So she's in with the 2020s, but actually she might be born in 2019. And they were like, let's hold her for a year until like everything lines up nicely. Plus, because then she'll be captain of the basketball team, you know, captain, who knows, man, she's gonna be ahead of the curve. It's so sick when you look up, it doesn't even have to be like a person that lived in ancient history. There's people that were born in like the late 19th century where they don't know their age. That's so funny, man. Like there's living people, there less of them these days, but there's like living people that are like, I don't exactly know how old I am. That's funny, man. It's gotta be wild to like not know your age, man. Can't they test to figure it out? What are they gonna do? Cut them open and count the rings? Carbon dating? Oh, you believe that shit? Confused conspiracy theorists be like, humans and dinosaurs lived together 65 million years ago? Wait, that might just be like 5% of people. Guy who thinks the world is 7 billion years old, but people have only been on the earth for 65 million years. I don't know if this makes any sense, man. Dude, you know what the best part of, usually, like a long weekend is good, don't get me wrong. But sometimes the long weekend causes you, like the Tuesday feels like a Monday, right? And that pisses you off. You're like, what the fuck? I thought it was Monday today. I thought it was Monday today. All my shit, all my Monday shit. I should have done it yesterday. But the long weekend, like sending shit into the future accidentally goes crazy this week. Because yesterday I was like, oh shit, 3 days till football. But now I'm like, no, man, 1 day till football. Football started 2 weeks ago. Yeah, not if you're a... Football started 2 weeks ago, and Manchester United fans already wish it was over. Am I right, dude? They're having some problems. They're not... They miss Sir Alex Ferguson, I hear. I hear that they miss Sir Alex Ferguson. Didn't they lose to, like, Glenn Howerton's team or whatever? Manchester United lost to Grimsby Town. That's really funny. It's always funny when a big team loses to a team named some shit like Grimsby Town. That's why soccer's sick, man. And I'm going to call it soccer because I got to be patriotic, but... Like, the biggest upset that can happen in the NHL is like, hey, did you see the San Jose Sharks, like, beat the Rangers last night? How did that happen? Well, it happened because, like, the teams are, like, 20% different in terms of their overall quality, and they play 82 games a year. So, like, you know, some goofy stuff happens from time to time. But a one-of-one game, like, between the South Park Kids and the Colorado Avalanche would go insane, man. Grimsby's in the 4th tier. What a coincidence. Manchester United fans just shed their 4th tier. And they've only played 3 matches so far this year. Am I right? And they're missing Sir Alex Ferguson. They're missing him. They're missing Dennis Bergkamp. They're missing him a lot. How do you know ball? I watched the Premier League season when Wayne Rooney had hair transplants. I'm not even making a joke. That's just the easiest way for you to know what season it was. People came to my chat saying you look like some old bitch. What's up? Okay, it was not some old bitch. It's Marcel Dion, who until this last decade was the 3rd highest career point total in NHL history, and perhaps the highest, having never won a Stanley Cup. And the picture, I can't pull it up because I'm indisposed right now. The picture of Marcel Dion in Puck Doku looks so much like you if you dyed your hair with shoe polish.
Shoe polish in your hair? You know what the hell? Tell him I'm gonna kill him. He's a very old man. And it looks like Ed Norton from American History X. And has very similar beliefs, I'm sorry to say. Yeah, it's true. I can't be offended because he's been cosmically cursed. I get it. I know bald men lash out. It happens.
My response was you look a lot like Ed Norton in American History X and have a lot of the same opinions. So you basically called me a white supremacist because I said you look like a guy who's a professional athlete. Your counterattack when I said you look like a guy who works out for a living is, yeah, well, Ryan looks like a white supremacist. Not even looks like. You basically said Ryan is a white supremacist. That seems a little bit unprovoked, all things considered. I Googled the guy and he looked horrific. I hope he didn't Google like Marcel Dion 2025. I think he might be like 6 years deceased, man. Just go, Marcel Dion like 1979 or something like that. He just looks like a guy. Also, I take it as a compliment. Yeah, because Ed Norton is he's a little snatched in American History X. Now, I don't want the tattoos, but is kind of like my goal physique. Minus the tattoos. Let me see what you got here. That is, okay, in my defense, Justin, that picture of Marcel Dion looks like you aged 73 or something like that. Like that looks, you might look like that and that would be fine. That's what, he looks good for a 73-year-old, man. But then look at what he looked like in like 1978 or something. Tell me you don't see it a little bit, man. You don't see it at all? That's because it's you, man. So why don't you take that? Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. Copy image, okay? And I'm gonna go into our Discord and I'm gonna say, does this picture remind you guys of anyone? And I'm gonna ping Corey and I'm gonna ping Apollo, and I'm gonna ping Invicta, and I'm gonna ping Mouth. Let's just see. I'm not putting my finger on the scale at all. And by the way, I don't know why people are taking offense to this. This is not, it's not rude to say he looks like a guy. This guy was he was a professional athlete, man. He was probably killing it in the 70s. His nose is 5 times my nose. The nose is big. I'll give you that. The nose is big. You don't have a nose like that. But if you shrink the nose, if you could get Grok to shrink the nose by 35%, your nose is kind of big. My nose is fucking huge. Anytime I see a picture of myself, I'm like, when the fuck did my nose get that big? It wasn't like that in high school, man. But I guess your nose kind of just keeps going, right? It's not huge. Oh, really? I kind of dig it, though, to be honest with you. I think it's nice. You know that older American actor who looks like Sam Eagle from the Muppets? I think it's distinguished, man. Why did Dan type pregnancy in chat? No, Dan pinned someone who said pregnancy. Oh, hold. Wrong pin. John Slattery? No. He played, this is an insane sentence. He played an angel investor who used to be an advisor to Richard Nixon in the Amanda Seyfried-led Disney Plus miniseries, The Dropout, about Elizabeth Holmes. Could somebody look up that guy? Sam Waterston. That sounds right to me. Sam Waterston. Elizabeth Holmes, Han Solo, be like, wait, Elizabeth Holmes, Princess Leia, be like, I love you. Han Solo, Sonny, the chief financial officer of Theranos, be like, I know. You know what I'm talking about? You guys ever see the texts that came out between Elizabeth Holmes and her boyfriend from Theranos? Hang on. This is what it's all about, man. This is peak streaming. Wait, she says she's sending ditto to him. Missing you in every breath and in every cell. Holmes, ditto. My family sends love and prayers, and you have prayers of thousands of people. You have several. You have served. Holmes, ditto. Oh, man. I know what you are thinking and going through. Control your thoughts and don't let fear control you. Breathe in and every hour be conscious of your breath and breathe out fear. I love this. Like that, she replies, I love this. That's so fucking good. Holy shit, that's funny, man. But then he does that to her at some point too, which is even funnier. You ever send messages like this to your wife? No, man. Husband tech, you ever get a notification, immediately hit it with a react. The react is like it's a married read receipt. Hit it with it doesn't have to be a thumbs up react, but it could be maybe a heart. It could be, I don't know, anything, just to know that you've seen it. I love you, Holmes responded. Okay, entire flight was feeling really, really bad and sad for last night. I'm really sorry. Balwani replied, followed by a second text. I need to change my life and I will. They had all this drama over the product didn't even work, man. Product didn't work. You are the breeze in the desert for me, my water and ocean. Meant to be only together, tiger. Balwani replies, okay. That's so good. That's the one, man. That's the one. Do the old people in your life always add ellipses after their texts? Yes. Now, this is sacrilege. You should not be doing that. I'm just going to say it because we're like the median generation now. It stresses out millennials. AKA normal people. Sorry, I got distracted for a second there. I do that and I'm 23. Well, I imagine your ellipses are different. Because the ellipse that you get from like your 62-year-old mom via text is like, we need to talk, ... That's really bad. If you're 23 and you send people a text that says like, do you hate me, ... That's funny. Like, I don't know if the older generation realizes that if you send a text on a Monday that says, hope you had a good weekend, ... To the millennial mind, it's like you're sending a message that said, you didn't send me a text this weekend, you don't care about me, do you? Like, that's basically what it looks like. It's like, hope you had a good weekend, because mine sucked, and it's your fault. Now, what's the millennial texting annoyance? I hear that it's adding LOL at the end of every text that I send, but I'm going to keep sending it anyway. Because I don't really care what Gen Z thinks about my texting, to be honest. If they got a problem with it, I don't know, get in line. We're going to be working together for a while, hopefully. Got to learn how to handle each other. We got to, we got to fill each other's gaps. Do you use K? If I'm writing the word pancake, I try to, but you can't reply to a message with a capital or a lowercase k unless you have cause to be like, because just sending 1K is basically like, I'll do it, but I hate you. You've been asked to do something. You've been asked to pick up something from the grocery store, and you're like, I'm only doing this because we're like, the vow says I have to do it. What you have to do is lie and be like, sure, I'd love to. Even if the store that you're being asked to pick up the thing from is right next to the store that you were just at, and you're now at a different store that's like across town. You got to be like, yeah, no problem, and then just drive back and tank it. But it's kind of nice because when you drive back, you get to listen to whatever music you want in the car, if it's just you. Can you raw dog flights? A short enough flight, if it was a 2-hour flight, I could raw dog it, no problem. But I do want to say, it depends what you mean by raw dog. I'm not going to true raw dog a flight just to prove something to people on the internet, i.e., I'm at least going to have earbuds in. But yes, I swear it to you, 50% of the flights to and from the UK were staring straight ahead, podcast in the headphones. That's not a raw dog. I mean, it's more raw than most dogs are doing it these days. Doesn't count. Well, I mean, listen, you don't get it because you're probably men in your mid-20s. I was telling this to the Discord yesterday. Most dangerous time, not for dying, but for ruining your life, is to be a man, 20 to 25, finished college, living alone or with roommates, but you're not in a relationship. It's so easy to let temporary boredom lead to a habit or a hobby that ruins your life. Raw dogging a flight, not going to ruin your life, but you are making it temporarily more boring for no reason, I guess, just for pride, I guess. But like, Chib's Kava arc is it's kind of like that. Now, I don't think he's going to ruin his life with Kava. I think odds are he'll probably hit a spot where he's like, I just don't need to do this anymore. Just fine. Kava's not addictive. Nothing makes me more scared of a drug than when people start saying it has no side effects. Except caffeine. People talk about caffeine like it's fentanyl, and then they talk about cocaine like it's Coke Zero, and it's insane. I don't know where did we go wrong? You need a millennial in charge. I'm sorry. Millennials, right? We got fed some, Justin, don't listen. We got fed some anti-drug propaganda, but I think they mostly got the order right in terms of severity. Like the boomers were like off. They were like, if you smoke weed, your head will explode. That will not happen. It doesn't really even do that much. Then Gen Z is like, I'm in 11th grade and I'm doing ketamine. No, man. No, you should not be doing that. Under no circumstances should you be doing that. Also, how are you I couldn't get anything in the 11th grade, man. I couldn't even buy anything on Xbox Live. I had to ask my mom for her credit card. They didn't have Visa debit cards back in the day. You couldn't just be like, I'll use my debit card. It's got verified by Visa on it. They didn't have the technology yet. I had to ask, Mom, can I borrow your credit card for a second? What do you want? There's DLC for Project Gotham Racing. There's new tracks, and they released the Aerial Atom for Project Gotham Racing too. You know how demoralizing and emasculating it is to do that as a 17-year-old man? I think it's a scary time in a man's life. Like, basically, you're like 24 and you live in your own apartment. Maybe you got one roommate. It's so easy to just be bored and ruin your life accidentally. Maybe just get like a 3D printer or something like that. That's not that bad. You can get a 3D printer and be like, check it out. Here's a turtle. I made a turtle with my 3D printer or something. Do video games count? Well, I'm no fan of the gamers. Oh, Jesus Christ. That being said, and you're going to hit me with some stares on this, but I do think it's true. In the whole scheme of things, it's hard to ruin your life with video games. Now, people have done it. And League is the one that's coming up the most, but I really think WoW probably has destroyed more people's lives than maybe any other game on the planet. But there's a lot of stories of people who are like, I flunked out of college because of WoW. Which is why I think you should have to be 40 to play an MMO. Because your brain, should have to be at least 25. Your brain should have to be fully developed before you make that decision. But that's easy for me to say because I'm over 25 and I don't give a fuck about Warcraft. Imagine that would piss you off a lot if you're like a 23-year-old Warcraft head. You'd probably be like, easy for you to say, buddy. But in the whole scheme of things, in terms of vices, video games are hard to ruin your life with. Gambling seems like a really easy one. Like, I don't think you should ever... If you're old, you could do whatever you want. I'm assuming you know yourself to some extent. But if you're like 20, do not download a gambling app. I know you're like, I'm smarter than I've ever been. Yeah, but for most of you, you're also dumber than you're ever going to be again. Like, you'll be smarter tomorrow. If you could just tell yourself, like, I won't download it today and I'll return to this problem tomorrow, eventually you'll be at the point where you're like, I'm not going to download that. You'll have hit the level and that's how you win. Don't do anything till you're 65. That's what I'm talking about. And then when you're 65, get your driver's license. You got 20, 30 good years of driving. What about stocks? I know we're at the top of the stock market. I know we're in a bubble because people have stopped saying the stock market is gambling. Even in 2021, if you would be like, well, if you talked about investing, people would be like, investing is gambling. We've come so far that people are not even saying that. They don't even see it that way anymore. So we're due for a correction, without a doubt. This is not financial advice, by the way. Sell your 401k and buy U.S. Treasury bills. That's what I would say if I was... I'm not going to do that, but it would be funny if you followed that advice and ruined your life. It's easy to ruin your life with financial stuff, for sure. Take all your money out of the bank right now. Everybody go to the same bank. It's literally not illegal to say that. They did it in Mary Poppins, and that shit was in movie theaters. They did do that to Silicon Valley Bank. What's crazy is that those dudes are like the czar of podcasting now, right? Like they're the official podcasters of the current administration. Dude started a bank run by tweeting, I just got a hot tip. I got a hot tip that you should pull all of your money out of the bank right now. What were we talking about? Oh, yeah. Also, you can definitely ruin your life with drugs, including alcohol. Probably cannabis, too, but I don't know. You don't see it that often. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm saying it doesn't happen that often. And you can... This one is not everyone's going to like this, okay? But you can ruin your life with caffeine. But you can't ruin your life with coffee. I know that sounds like, what is he talking about? You can only ruin your life with caffeine if you start taking pills or fucked up unregulated pre-workouts, in my opinion. I don't think you can ruin your life with coffee. The only person I've seen ruin their life with coffee was one, back me up VIP Daniel, there was one dude on Naked and Afraid who drank 12 cups of espresso a day and didn't detox before he went on Naked and Afraid. And they were like, how are you doing? And he's like, I feel very miserable right now. And they're like, that makes a lot of sense. Next game, get him. Mods, get him. Mods, take that chatter and make them leave all their cards at home because they don't need it because they have Apple Pay. And it'd be so nice to go outside on a summer day without having to worry about my bag. But then they get to paying at the store, but the store is in like a telecom dead zone where they have no signal, and they gotta go, it's not working. I don't know. Oh, I left my cards at home. For what it's worth, it seems like even if you have no signal, like the service still works somehow. I don't really understand how, but just something to give you a panic attack over. It batches later. Whatever. This whole bank shit is all fucked up. There's no shot they're settling that shit up once a day. I'm sorry, I just don't believe it. I don't believe that if you're a Royal Bank customer and you take out $1 million from a CIBC ATM, I don't believe they're having a phone call later that day where they're like, give us the milli. I don't see it. I don't see it happening. The coffee shop at my work closed down. 2 months after it was shut down, they settled 2 months of pending transactions at once. Everyone in my office got hit with 3-figure old coffee bills. That's messed up. You can do that? How does, like, the machinations of that don't make sense to me. Why is the coffee shop in charge of pushing the transactions? Like, doesn't Moneris or like Visa do that at a more regular interval than put your phone on airplane mode, cancel your credit card, and go on a shopping spree? Wait, hang on. Chat, why wouldn't that work? I guess that's probably why Tap has like well, it's one of the reasons why Tap has a limit, right? You're not gonna be like, oh yeah, put the Rolls-Royce Phantom on Apple Pay. Beep. All right, well it looks like a transaction approved. I'll be seeing ya. My local bakery allows people to run up a tab. Oh, so all of a sudden buy now, pay later isn't bad. Okay, all right, I understand. I don't even want to ask dlguiga because I know he's the type of beast to like, if his bakery had a tab, he would wait until they sent him to collections to pay for it. Because he knows it. I read one of my favorite character-defining dlguiga anecdotes is when he was pricing out whether it was worth getting a Costco membership, which is $60. He's here. Confirm or deny. You were pricing out the value of getting a Costco membership, and you took into account the time value of money for the $60. Like if you bought your membership on January 1st, the alternative is you could put that in the US Treasuries and then collect like 60, I don't even know, it would be like 61.75 on December 31st or something like that. That's so funny. And it's not even bad. It's just like, it's so you. That's why I say it's a character building moment. If you saw that in a movie, you would be like, I know this anecdote has told me more about this guy than anything else so far. Like that one anecdote fills in the character sheet 100%. It was only a 5-minute exercise. That's so you. All I was saying, dlguiga, was that if I said, and I think that if you disagree, I'm going to bake in the wild card here. I think you're the type of beast that if your local bakery offered you a tab, you wouldn't pay it until they really got on your case about it. Because you would be like, I mean, you've extended me. You wouldn't see it as like an act of goodwill from the bakery. You would see it as like a unsecured line of credit with no interest. And you would be like, it would be foolish to not take advantage of that to the maximum possible utility. It would be priced into their goods. That's an even better response. That's so much better of a response. Oh no, young homies thinking that the small business bakery is pricing rationally, man. Hang on, I do want to see if anybody has replied. It looks like Dan. No, no, man. I think, okay, Malv said, I think if you combine Justin and me, that would be the result. So you know what's great though, is that like a couple of years ago, people would have been like, you're face blind. I was getting face blind accusations a lot whenever I would say someone looks like someone else. But I have a track record of rocking the face match on the Daily Dozen. So the truth is, I was right, and I put my nuts on the table with the face match. And the people in chat, they hate to argue the point. They'd rather argue like via analogy. You really think it's more likely that you're right and 10,000 other people are wrong? Yeah, if the 10,000 other people aren't me. And you're typing shit like every time I'm fucking, no matter who it is in the face match, they're like, Tom Hanks. It's not Tom Hanks, bro. That's not Tom Hanks's hairline. And then I'll be like, oh, 100% that's Mariska Hargitay. And they go, who? Jane Seymour's daughter? You rube? You charlatan? I'm sorry she hasn't been on fucking Critical Role. Sorry, it took me a second to load the nuke. I'm sorry she hasn't been on Critical Role. I'm sorry she's never appeared on a Dropout show, but she's pretty famous, okay? In some circles, she's pretty famous. What show is she on? I don't know. One of the fucking Law and Order, CIA, SVU, FUCK type Johns. I don't know. They're calling it Cava. Kids are buying it online these days. The It's more hepatotoxic than a glass of Chardonnay. Ice Cube. Close, that's iced tea. But anyone could go for some Ice Cube inside of iced tea right now, if you know what I'm talking about. I hope they don't hear me say that. I feel like both of them might not be pleased to hear me say that, but certainly one of them. Certainly one of them is not going to be happy. But they should go to a fountain drink store sometimes. They have ice and they got cubes and tea. Chibli, could you do me a favor and go to the Discord and tell me who that picture that I posted looks like? And you don't let anybody influence you. Just there's no wrong answer. It's not a trivia question. Just say whatever comes to mind, and if nothing comes to mind, so be it. It does not look like Jackie Chan. Okay, say something real. I guess I'm useless. This is just like that movie Blindness, where Julianne Moore wasn't blind, but she had to pretend because everyone else is. I have to not say that people look alike because you guys are all face blind. I don't get to say, oh, look at this person. They have similar features to this person. Just because you can't see it and it makes you feel bad. What if you're face blind? Could a guy who's face blind consistently get the middle square on the Daily 9? I don't think so. You know what else? I'm good with faces and I'm good with voices. I do forget a lot of names. I noticed that when I dropped my daughter off at school today. I was like, I've seen these kids 100 times. Remember 30% of their names. Snoop Dogg might have some thoughts on that one. Pisses me off. Did you know Snoop Dogg won a Webby Award for Entrepreneur of the Year in 2024? Not my goat, man. Not my goat. They didn't know, man. I'm sure that he's gonna have his Webby rescinded, dude. No, Snoop! Snoop, don't play the inauguration! You're Webby, dude! He's washed. I mean, the thing about no disrespect to people who like Snoop Dogg, he's been washed since the day after his first album came out. He's been washed like almost my entire lifespan, but somehow he just keeps getting like more and more famous. Like I don't even know what he's famous for. Like at this point, the average person knows that Snoop is a rapper, but can't name a Snoop Dogg song. That's fucked up, man. He's at Ryan Reynolds level, where they're like, Ryan Reynolds, I like him, and you're like, okay, what's your favorite Ryan Reynolds movie? And they're like, I know he's the weed guy. I like when he shows up on a panel show and he's like, excuse me, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go smoke some weed. Seth Rogen, better weed guy. It's not even, I'm not even gonna say a percent, because the percent doesn't do it justice. But Seth Rogen, worst rapper. He should have followed it up with Missionary. Yo! He could be like the Sufjan Stevens of rap and do an album for every position, man. No, you naive guy. You still think Snoop Dogg's gonna do every position, man? He did 2 positions and then he took like 20 years off. Bro did doggy style, reverse cowgirl, and was like, I'm out of ideas. Will Smith did an AI concert. I have never been a big fan of Will Smith either. Except for like a few years right when Men in Black 1 came out. Did you support the slap? Well, that's complicated. I don't really care about the slap, but he probably shouldn't have slapped him. I think if we're being honest, we can say violence wasn't the answer in that situation, but it was very funny. He shouldn't have said that shit. I mean, like, I know you're... It's so easy to just be like, you should never make a joke at anybody else's expense for any reason. But you hire Chris Rock to host the Oscars. What do you think's gonna happen? He's gonna crack some jokes, man. Dude should not watch the roast of Jada Pinkett Smith on Comedy Central. Jeff Ross, the roast master imperator. Oh man, some of the stuff that he says. How funny would it be if they did Comedy Central roasts without the person getting roasted giving their permission? Like they just got a bunch of comedians together to make fun of somebody just cuz, man. Just cuz. That would be sick. I guess that's kind of what The Daily Show was with George W. Bush or whatever, but... +2. Ah, you're too kind. You're too kind. Anyway. It's so funny to type, I missed the Daily Show. That thing's still on the air, man. The only problem is politics, like, isn't fucked up anymore, so they've lost a lot of material. If we had, like, a bad president again, that would be really good for the Daily Show. That'd be real. I bet Jon Stewart's like, oh, when can we get a bad president again? We need a goofy president. Our ratings are so low. Taxes are a battle pass if you think about it. Truly, the greatest tax avoidance scheme is to start an LLC and use that as an entity to purchase lottery tickets. And then if you win the lottery, you don't even pay taxes, bro. And if you lose the lottery, those are capital losses that you can write off. I'm pretty sure it's like free money, man. If you just start a corporation whose duty is buying lottery tickets. Isn't that fraud? I don't think it's fraud. I think it's taking advantage of loophole in the tax code, which means like it probably should be fraud, but they're pretty slow to get around to like patching that stuff. There is one thing worth mentioning. You do the strategy hinges on winning the lottery, which is hard. Skill issue. I guess it's technically it's easy. I'm gonna become a rational lottery player, man. I'm gonna let the machine choose the numbers for me every week. Yeah, there's a lot of alt-rock songs from the 90s where they're getting some daddy issues out for sure. I still think it's so funny. Like, you get what he's saying, but in Everclear's Daddy Gave Me a Name, when he says it wasn't easy being the only white kid in a black neighborhood, is such a funny lyric in the modern day. And you're like, I could see how that would maybe cause you some problems, but it's so funny, man. Expand on that? Well, you gotta ask the guy, man. You gotta ask the guy. He said, Daddy gave me a name, and then he walked away. Then he waddled away, waddle. Till the very next day. Fuck, marry, kill, linger, zombie, dreams. This is the one time I've ever appreciated someone asking the same question in chat for a week straight, because I've been meaning to answer it every time I've seen it, and then I've gone off the rails. I kill zombie. I don't think it's a bad song, but I kill zombie. I think I fuck dreams and I marry linger. I think linger is my favorite Cranberries song. And then dreams is hard for me to really rate its quality, because every time I hear it, I just picture like a 90s teen high school comedy where like the girl is walking into prom. Well, changing every day, and then like the soft light kind of hits her and she turns around every possible way. But linger is like, these are not random songs, Apollo. You don't know the Cranberries? It wouldn't be so rude. It's just my attitude that's tearing me apart. It's ruining everything. Oh, if you could get by, trying not to lie. These are good songs, man. Sorry it's not fucking, I go to parties and sleep on the floor. I go to windows but only find doors. They think I'm crazy, but I have a good time. Life's been good to me so far. That's a bar, though. I kind of like. I never liked that song. I heard it about 50 times a day growing up. Then I was like, I fucking hate that song. And then you were like, it's actually pretty good. And the next time I heard it, I was like, holy fuck, he's right. This song ain't half bad. Influenced. I'm marrying dreams. It does have some goofy sound effects in it. You're speaking truth with that one. I like any song with a fucking like a talk box, man. God, I wish we could play I Want You to Show Me the Way by Peter Frampton without getting DMCA'd in 0.2 seconds. That song is the most fucked up guitar of all time. It sounds like a dog, man. I'd fuck zombie. Zombie dudes be like, It's one of those songs that's annoying to say you don't love. Because if you're ever like, I don't really love that song, people are like, oh, really? Did you know it was about some serious shit? But at least Zombie's a good song. The worst is when you go, the worst song I've ever heard in my entire life is Drops of Jupiter by Train. And then someone goes, oh, did you know he wrote it about his mom? Fuck you. I'm not gonna feel bad about that shit. This song fucking sucks, man. I'm not saying like his mom was a bad person. I'm just saying the song is ass. Everyone, they write songs from a place of like, you know, wanting to express something. That doesn't mean the song is good. Lots of people like the song. It doesn't matter if I like the song. They're still going to keep playing it. I've asked them to stop. They're not going to stop. If I could have stopped them, I would have stopped them by now. Now do Hurricane. Okay, well, like, it's a good song. He didn't have to say all that. That's all that needs to be said about Hurricane. He could have the dude is famous for writing 1,000 different versions. He never sings the song the same way twice. He could have written a different verse for that part of Hurricane. Now do Money for Nothing? Well, we've done Money for Nothing. The song is from the perspective of someone who's jealous of somebody for being famous in popular music. So the slur, he shouldn't have put it in there, and in 2025, you can't put it in there, obviously. It looks really bad looking at it in hindsight. But it sounds bad to explain it this way. It's in character. He's doing it like oh yeah? He's doing a money spread. Basically, Mark Knopfler's doing a money spread. He said, oh yeah? You think my hair looks silly? Guess what? How my nuts taste. I just cough loudly at the second verse. It's fucked up how many good songs you can't do at karaoke. Because it just makes it awkward, man. You're obviously not going to say it. Not saying it is also like, you should have just picked a different song. If you knew it was coming up, you should have just been like, I'll pick something else. I don't want to have to deal with all the rigmarole. Now karaoke's part of the culture war. Top songs by straight white guys that have slurs in them. I'm not going to do a tier list for that. But they're... And I didn't write them! Also, for the record, I didn't write the song. American Idiot #1? Yeah, yes sir, that's right. Billy Joel, you don't get to say redneck. That's our word, man. You're from the Bay Area, I think. He's from the Bay Area, I believe. Based on what I know about Green Day, I think they might be from Oakland, if I had to guess. That one John Lennon song about women? Women, I want to be a woman. I got the feeling of love. Yeah, you're talking to me. You see right through me. You got the visions of love. That one? He's a woman, you know what I mean. That's not what John Lennon sounds like. You got to set me free, yeah. Well, I don't know. From what I know about the Luxor, and I'm the #1 Las Vegas hater on earth, by the way, but from what I know about the Luxor, it might be nicer on the roof than it is in the rooms. Anyway, that is where I saw that Human Bodies exhibit, though, in like 2010. And then later I found out that not all the people that were in the exhibit necessarily volunteered. But in 2010, they didn't really concern themselves with all that kind of stuff that much. That came a little bit later. Also, that wasn't me. My parents bought the ticket to that. So, you were in your 20s? Okay, if we want to be honest, let's be honest. I was literally 21. That's in your 20s, but I feel like you're using in your 20s to make it seem like I was older than 21. Of course that's your 20s, but if you say, when people say they're in their 20s, that means they're 29 and a half, okay? Under 25, you just say your age. Yeah, exactly, man. And then at 25, you go, I'm so old, oh, I'm so old, oh. Kids these days are watching slightly different shows than they watched when I was a kid. Oh, my favorite show from when I was 12 is still on the air, but it's not that popular anymore. Oh, it's not the most popular show. I'm so old. I'm so old. A car drove over my leg and it broke. I'm so old. My bones are so brittle. A Ford F-150 drove over my leg and it broke, and my 25-year-old bone shattered, man. It sucks so much being so old. Being in your 30s is liminal. It is crazy. Like, being in your 30s is like, damn. I got, like, hopefully, I'm not complaining, by the way, but damn, you got a lot more time, like, being an adult. Being in my 30s, it's weird because you realize simultaneously, like, how long and how short life is. You're like, damn. The thing that makes me feel old is my family getting old. Like, every time I see my relatives who I haven't seen for a while being like, they look older, and they don't just look like older versions of themselves. I'm like, damn, you're becoming like an old guy. I know I called you old when you were like 32, but now you're like 67 and you're like old. But what makes you feel young is you're like, fuck, I've been an adult for fucking ever. And I see like 50-year-old adults, and they aren't even like that old yet. And it's going to take me another 14 years to be 50, and I won't even really be that old. Like, that's a long time, man. Like, I'm already like, you ain't got shit to show me, Earth. You've shown me 99.9% of the treasures that you have, okay? You get some new material, bro, because I got like, I could die today, which would make this conversation really funny, and I would love to go out on a bit. I just hope it's not like now. I can't believe I got 50 more years of people trying to tell me that a new food is the best food ever made, when obviously they've already made the best food. There's no shot there's going to be like a culinary invention that's going to completely disrupt my world in the 21st century. They've done every single combination of all foods on the planet, man, and nothing clears bread, French fries, mashed potatoes, many different variations of beef, pizza, basically anything with tomato sauce on it, like ribs. Yeah, exactly. They're not going to, we cookied a croissant. Man, fuck you. Give me a coffee and then a cookie. I'll try it. Fuck you, I'll try it. I'm going to be here for a while. Don't want to go 50 years without... Every time somebody brings up, hey, have you ever had one of those cookies? I got to be like, no. Obviously, I got to have one. Not going to look like a dickhead for 50 years, but like, it sounds good as fuck. It's fine, man. Corey brought one to our house. It wasn't bad. It was a little bit worse than a croissant and a little bit worse than a cookie, which still puts it in like the top 2% of foods on the planet. But who you got tomorrow night? I mean, it's Eagles by a mile. But I do think Dak is an underappreciated... MVP is tough. I think he could find his way on the long list for Offensive Player of the Year. Dak had a bad season, and didn't he like shatter every bone in his sternum last year? I'm not gonna say he's the best QB. All I'm gonna say is here's what I identify. I'm like dlguiga. I identify arbitrage opportunities. Dak is oversold right now. 2 years ago, he was in the conversation for MVP. He wasn't like a consensus winner. He was like consensus fourth or something like that, but he was in the conversation. Then he had one really bad season, and everyone's like, he's totally washed. I don't think he's totally washed. I think he's underbought, oversold. That's where I put him right now. But I still think the Eagles clear. He has 0 targets. He literally has CeeDee Lamb. Okay, what are we talking about here? 0 targets. Are you buying into the Ben Johnson Bears? No. I am a Caleb Williams believer, but I don't think it's this year. I think it's next year. I mean, to get to the playoffs this year, a lot of things are going to have to go right, man. You got DeAndre Swift is going to have to pop off. Moore is going to have to pop off. New coaching situation can be, it can be fresh blood, but you can also end up with the first-time jitters, performance anxiety, et cetera, et cetera. How are we feeling about Penix? Small game merchant. Choked in the national championship game. I don't see him. I wish I saw him on the up and up, but personally, I'm like, I just don't buy it. And I'm a Huskies fan until they lose the Apple Cup again. What week does Shadur start with the Browns? I mean, isn't he like number 3 QB on the depth chart? I think it's highly possible he doesn't get a game this year, man. Unless they're 16-0 in week 17 and they have to rest their starters. What week does Richardson start? I'll let you know once the trade offers start rolling in. That's what the Richardson pick in the fantasy draft, that one's for daddy. I overrate him based on his draft capital, but dude, wasn't he like first overall? There's no shot they sit him, dude. He's the future. They're going to sit their future franchise QB for the whole season? Nah, I don't see it happening. He isn't the future. They drafted him 4th in like 2022, man. I'm a Colts fan. He's turbo ass. Yeah, but literally you're a Colts fan, so what do you know? When Richardson has a 71.6 QB rating, weeks 11 to 17, you just remember who called it, okay? Brother, he can't throw. Yeah, neither can Russell Wilson. He's still starting. No, Russell Wilson can't run. Sorry, I don't know ball. My bad. I got the wrong discipline. You know what's crazy? I was telling this to my Discord that I play fantasy football with. The last time I played fantasy football, quarterbacks were valued very differently because there was literally one quarterback in the entire league who knew how to run. Everybody else in fantasy football, like, your quarterback basically did not matter because they all played essentially from a chair. They went back in the pocket, they stayed in the pocket, trusted the O-line, and then threw a pass. Or they handed it off to Priest Holmes. Michael Vick, he broke that shit wide open. Not saying you have to hand it to him. But nowadays, you gotta put some more respects on QBs because they can put up rushing TDs, man. I can't remember who my QB was that one season I played fantasy. My RB1 was Sean Alexander, and he served me well because I didn't get LaDainian. I didn't get him. I will say, I'm pretty sure I got Antonio Gates in his rookie season. And back in 2004, 2005, nobody knew ball, myself included. So I got Antonio Gates, and everyone was like, whoa, kind of a reach, don't you think? Turns out he's like maybe like the 3rd greatest tight end in history or something like that. How did the Chargers not win a Super Bowl, man, when they had LaDainian Tomlinson, Antonio Gates, and Sean Merriman, who was on like horse steroids, man? How did they not win? They didn't win shit. Phillip Rivers? Oh, that's right. There were like 2 big trades right when I started playing fantasy. One of them, and maybe these are 2 years apart, but like time has flattened my memories. Or maybe my memories have flattened time. One of them was Rivers for Breeze or something like that. And the other, or maybe it was Rivers for Eli Manning. And then the other one was Clinton Portis for Champ Bailey. Champ Bailey was so good. Real ESPN NFL football 2K5 heads know you play the Falcons, you get Vic. He's got a decent arm, he's got crazy legs. And then you also get Dante Hall. You can play CB, but then you also, as soon as the game starts, pause the game. You go into your special teams and you take whoever the fuck ass kick returner is, you put Dante Hall on that, all of a sudden, punk, it's over, bitch. It's over. D'Angelo Hall, whatever. You ever play the first person mode? Not only did I play it one time, there was an old post, I don't even know where I saw it, but it was like framed as if it was a scientific study where they had people play first-person football in ESPN NFL football, and it was like doctors wrote it, like it was faked as if doctors wrote it, and they were like, subjects who have played over 1 hour a day have had mysterious bruises start appearing on their body. And as a 14-year-old or whatever, I was legit like, holy shit. This game is so realistic that if you play it, you actually start to get the injuries on your body that your players are getting. So basically, I was stupid, and still am, but more aware of my own stupidity, at least, in some domains. This was also like the same era when people could be tricked into thinking like binaural beats worked. Hey, what do you think is the worst song that you still have to hear from time to time? I'll start. Waka Waka, This One's for Africa by Shakira. I cannot... Okay, Dance Monkey is really... That's a really good choice because that song shows up often enough to be like, this shit again, and is bad enough to be like, not this shit again. Any Taylor Swift song, literally virtue signaling. Some of those songs are pretty good. It's giving off like forum LARPers who are like, I hate the Spice Girls vibes. Shake It Off is good. Bro, Cruel Summer, Moggs, Shake It Off, okay? You gagged them? I know I gagged them. Her music is so bland. Some of it, Cruel Summer's not bland. I'm sorry, I can't believe I have to, I'm the Taylor Swift defender, but like, she's got some good songs, man. Major L on this one. I mean, you're not a free thinker, and that's fine. Sometimes being a free thinker is acknowledging that the world's most popular pop star has some songs that are actually, like, pretty good. Instead of just being like, no, they all suck because she's the most popular pop star in the world. Like, it's just the price you pay sometimes. Do you personally like it, though, or are you just rating it? What's this goalpost moving? Would I put the Taylor Swift song on the Peloton playlist? None of them that I've heard. No. That's a bar that isn't cleared by almost anything that's presently like on the radio. If I say that her music isn't good, I have to say that all music that has come out in the last like 5 years that I've heard is bad, which can't be true. There's some good stuff in there. Billion Koyangi, that's a pretty good one. Weekend is just as popular, but he mogs her. Okay, but that wasn't the question. The question is, what's the like worst song that you hear and you're like, not this shit again? And I named the worst song of all time, Waka Waka, This Time for Africa. And now you're saying Taylor Swift isn't as good as The Weeknd. Who gives a fuck? That has nothing to do with the conversation. I didn't bring up The Weeknd at all. There's no Weeknd songs on the playlist either. I don't give a fuck about him. Look at how far you moved the goalposts in like 5 sentences. Now, I would take The Weeknd any day of the week over Waka Waka, This Time for Africa. That's should go without saying. I shouldn't even need to say that explicitly, but you're not on point with Waka Waka. Quick question, how old were you when Waka Waka came out? If the answer is like under 21, shut up. Because your opinion, I'm arguing with a 11-year-old's opinion. Your opinion on that song calcified when you were still eating Elmer's glue, when 50% of your diet was glue. So there's no shot I'm going to argue with someone who appears to be 24, but it's actually an 11-year-old's opinion. I'm not wasting my time with that bullshit, okay? So if other people who were adults when Waka Waka, This Time for Africa came out, want to have a conversation, if they think it's good and we can meet as peers, as equals, that's something. But if you're like, it went crazy at the 4th grade dance, you sit your ass down and shut up, okay? How old were you when it came out? 22. I just don't have an opinion about it. See, that pisses me off almost even more than the people who like it. Just because I feel like you're kind of fence-sitting on it. It's a song you should have an opinion on. There are songs that, like, you don't have to have an opinion. Like, if you're, like, I Want It That Way by the Backstreet Boys, if you're like, I could take it or leave it, that seems about right to me. It's just, the song's sort of there. It's not unpleasant. But I would never put it on. I never have to because it's always on somewhere anyway, even still. But like Waka Waka, you gotta, like when it comes on, it begs for an opinion to be formed. The song is, it's called Waka Waka, right? The lyrics are like Waka Waka, la hey, 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 Waka Waka. Like you don't have an opinion on that. You have no opinion on it. You hate Shakira? I got nothing against Shakira. And I say that without knowing how her tax avoidance case played out in Spain. I separate the art from the artist in this one. I separate the accusation from the accused, okay? I have nothing against Shakira. Hips don't lie. I give it a 5 out of 10, not out of 5. But that's fine. Whenever, wherever, I give it a nostalgic 5.5. Underneath Your Clothes, I'll give it a 4. But trust me, it gets worse than that. She-Wolf, I don't really know, because I bowed out after This Time for Africa, to be honest with you. And Try Everything from Zootopia, I'll give it a 6.5. I'm not a Shakira hater. I mostly just hate that song. You will not rage bait me today. This is not rage bait. See, here's the thing. You've been arguing music with people who grew up in a post-Condé Nast Pitchfork poptimism bubble. Me, Justin, from an earlier era where if you admitted that you liked Bop by Hanson, you got your ass beat. I didn't actually ever get my ass beat, but they would be like, they'd say some shit. They'd start some rumors about you or some shit like that. Boys can be mean like that. Nowadays, you get your ass beat if you say you're not fucking with Katy Perry's Dark Horse. If you're like, I think California Girls isn't really that good of a song, people will kick the shit out of you. They'll kill you. Katy Perry lost the juice. That's why I said Dark Horse era Apollo. Also, don't say nobody's fucking with Katy Perry these days. Is Justin Trudeau nothing to you? Don't answer that, American. Fireworks is really good. Okay, Kim Jong-un. God, it's so sick when an evil person likes a song you don't like and you could just be like... you could just equate an otherwise normal person with that person. Oh, I don't even know if Kim Jong-un likes fireworks. That might just be some shit that I learned from the interview, man. But Teenage Dream is a great song, though. Teenage Dream, I'll give it a solid 8.5. No nostalgia. No nostalgia. Because I didn't hear that song, I think, probably until like 3 or 4 years after it came out. California Girls, I don't think is a good song. But it also has the misfortune of coming out in summer 2010 when the radio was as bad as maybe it's ever been in history. Tayo Cruz, Dynamite, California Girls, TikTok by Kesha, Hey Soul Sister. Oh! Sometimes you would listen to the radio and it would be like, Hey Soul Sister followed by I'm Yours by Jason Mraz. And you would be like, oh no, dude. They're good songs. Justin, help me out here. Just like tell me I'm not crazy. All this shit sucks. Taylor Swift isn't that bad, but I think something happened, and I really do think it's, I mean, the consequences of letting people enjoy things have been a tragedy for Western civilization. To quote someone, to paraphrase someone who I can't remember right now. But I feel like in our era, and I'm not saying this is the way it should be, but it's how I grew up, so it should be like that forever. When I grew up, nobody hated the music you loved when you were 12 more than the person you were when you were 16. It's a rite of passage to be like, to go through your CD collection and be like, fuck all of this. I was stupid. I was to be like 14 and be like, when I was a kid, my music taste sucked. But somehow, man, somehow, a lot of people, maybe this has been the case for a long time. But nowadays, it's like, it's considered virtuous to still have like the same music taste you had when you were in the 7th grade. Where are you getting this from, or just vibes? I got people with gray pubes in my chat telling me that Waka Waka This Time for Africa is like their favorite song ever. It's just music, it's not that serious, but still, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, if you're getting calls from your doctor's office that like you should come in, we can't be talking about Waka Waka This Time for Africa, bro. We gotta be talking about some different sort of shit. Yes, pubes go gray. What follows could be the swallow. This is Pubes Not Gray by AFI. You know that one? Has led me to this place where I will be for all erased. It's been a long time since I heard this one. It's been that's the single that made me buy the album, but I haven't heard that song in a long time. And it beats the fucking bricks off of Waka Waka This Time for Africa. This song sounds like I'm watching a Disney musical. Are you talking about Waka Waka? That you're 100% right. You don't know how right you are, because the times I hear it the most is on Disney cruises. They're like, and the adults are doing the fucking Waka Waka Waka, hey, hey. The adults know all the fucking moves, and I'm like, just what the fuck is going on? Why is everybody around me like a junior vice president in their dad's family insurance company? Like, what am I doing? It's insane. I went on a Royal Caribbean cruise last week and I heard this song twice. I'm telling you, man. They love Waka Waka on the water, man. You sail out to international waters. Who knows what's going to happen? What actually happens? Na 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 na, hey hey, da 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 da. Boom! Having like 8 pina coladas and then knowing all the moves to Waka Waka This Time for Africa. Gotta grow a personality, man. Get the fucking lead out, man. Give me some a fucking wow 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 wow. Give me something like that. Okay, you got the time. I'll give myself some beer. Ooh, you know what I'm talking about? Is that Creed? Nah, it's ZZ Top. Fuck it, dude. Let's make some enemies. Fuck Aerosmith. Fuck AC/DC. Fuck Bryan Adams. I haven't even gotten to the controversial ones yet. I think Africa by Toto is a horrendous song. And part of the reason I hate it is because Weezer covered it, which is not Toto's fault, but it does make an impact. Why do you dislike Queen? It's not 100% their fault. Their most it's a rare situation for a band. Their most popular songs are their worst songs. We Are the Champions and We Will Rock You are for middle school sporting events. So let's take those out of the... I'm not even going to say they're bad. They're not music, so I'm going to take them out of the equation to be charitable to Queen. I do find Bohemian Rhapsody cringe, okay? And then you get into the real songs and we can start to have a conversation. Don't Stop Me Now. I think it's hard to say, but it is a good song. But the problem is it got too much glaze from being in Shaun of the Dead, and it started to get played way too much, like, everywhere. And I'm at the point where, like, whenever the song comes on, I'm like, I don't want to hear it anymore. Under Pressure, I mean, I think Under Pressure's... I think I would not turn it off if it came on. I Want to Break Free, pretty good. I think Apollo's right. I think Somebody to Love is my favorite Queen song. Killer Queen, it's good. It's good. It's good enough to be in Guitar Hero 1. I do like Princes of the Universe, but I like it kind of in a self-aware way. Here we are, born to be kings. It's so funny that it's just like a bunch of guys who live in England. We're the princes of the universe. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Here we are, fighting to survive in a world with the darkest power. Like, what are you talking about, bro? Get a chip, buddy. You really want to rile people up? Tell them Linkin Park sucks. Justin, this is one that I think you and I just have to share this in whispered, hushed tones to one another until we're free from this earth. When you're in the 8th grade, Linkin Park hits like crazy, and I was in the 8th grade when they popped off. So we were all fucking with Hybrid Theory and a little bit of Meteora, and then we like turned 16, and we were like, remember when we used to listen to that garbage? And then something happened. And I'm now in 2025 and people are like, it's not garbage, it's bolded on Rate Your Music. And I'm like, not when Rate Your Music had shooters, motherfucker. When Rate Your Music had shooters, Elvis Costello was getting those Linkin Park scores. And Linkin Park was getting those Elvis Costello scores, if you know what I'm talking about. It's not bolded on Rate Your Music. Okay, but I go check. I guarantee they have some bolded tracks. If something like Numb is bolded on Rate Your Music, I mean, I'm entering the side of the culture war, on whatever side doesn't have Linkin Park. Both sides have Linkin Park. I'm opening up a third frontier on the culture war. We're gonna take a little bit from both sides. I don't know what we're gonna take. We're gonna take a lot from one side. I don't know what we're gonna take from the other side. I haven't figured that part out yet. I'll find something. I'll find some. Maybe it's sausage gravy. Because people were too woke to eat sausage gravy. It's bad for you. It's bad for you. Man, fuck you. You do ketamine. You're not going to eat sausage gravy? We're taking sausage gravy from that side and everything else from the other side, and we're opening up a frontier in the culture war. I opened your stream a few hours ago. You were talking about sausage gravy. Came back, you're talking about sausage gravy. Okay, this is the one time this has ever happened that I have not talked about it since those two times. Usually people come in here and they're like, I left 2 hours ago and you're still at the same point. This is literally the one time that's remarkable, that's a coincidence. Which 2000 era Pitchfork indie darling is the worst? Oh, see, now you're speaking my language. Because instead of having a lot of targets, I got to think about which target it is. I'm sorry, it's not the Arcade Fire. I know, but it's not. It's not. So many people are saying the Arcade. It's not, man. It changed the game. Funeral changed the game, man. It's not Animal Collective. Oh my God. What is wrong with you? The unicorns might be up there, and I have some love for the unicorns, but the unicorns might be up there. But the unicorns are like, they have one album. It's not Vampire Weekend. Vampire Weekend is so good. They're so ass. They're literally not. And it's people are saying Death Cab. It's not Death Cab because they gave Transatlanticism a 6.8. It's you motherfuckers who have dredged it up, and now you're talking like Transatlanticism is like, oh, it's up there with fucking Beethoven's 8th. No, it's not, bro. It's a 6.8. Ariel Pink might be the answer. Okay, now now we can come to a consensus without hurting any feelings. Okay, yeah. But still, Round and Round's pretty good, I'm sorry to say. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. No, that album's pretty good. I'm sorry, I can't co-sign that album either. No one's saying Destroyer. Oh, dude, Destroyer's still anointed. He reinvents himself with like every 2 albums, and people love it. Pixies albums that aren't Doolittle. Surfer Rose is still really good. I was gonna say pretty good, but then I thought about it and I was like, nah, man, Surfer Rose is still really good. Now, don't say some stupid shit like it's better than Doolittle. Someone's gonna type that shit, and I'm gonna be pissed off. Clap your hands, say yeah. Okay, so the first album, the self-titled, got like a 9.1, but they weren't fucking with the second album. I don't think that makes them Pitchfork darlings. And I think the self-titled, Clap Your Hands, Say Yeah, is still really good. I mean, maybe they overrated it a little bit, but I wouldn't be too upset about that. Wolf Parade, wrong. Wolf Parade's good. I love that you know the numbers. Oh, dude, yeah, it might be the Decemberists, right. I forgot. I don't know. I have my Decemberist phase, but I can't get down with it. It's like, what if Ben Gibbard was like really into like the Civil War? That might be Titus. No, Titus Andronicus hits a little harder. Actually, I'll hit you with one, and this is real, and it's hard for me to say because they're actually associated with Vancouver. Every time, and I have some of their songs on the Peloton playlist. Every time I hear the New Pornographers, I'm like, is this actually good? Or did they just trick me into believing that this was good in like 2005, and now it's like stuck in my brain as if it's good? So whenever I listen to it, I'm like, I'm not sure this is actually like that. Like there's Letter to an Occupant is really good. But then like most of the New Pornographer stuff that I listened to came from Twin Cinema, and the one that came out, Challengers maybe, is the one that came after that. And almost all of the songs, and this is not to say fuck A.C. Newman or Neko Case or whatever, but almost all the songs that I like the most from the New Pornographers come from Destroyer. So I'm like, maybe I just like Destroyer, man. Owen Pallett, huge fan. Whether he's pooing clouds or like killing Sephiroth. Saw him live, it was crazy. I've seen like 8 concerts in my entire life, and Owen Pallett was one of them. You won't believe this. I saw him live too. It was the dude got best new music. Maybe it was like an 8.0 no best new music, but either way, dude got anointed by Pitchfork. 3 weeks later, I saw him at a church in Kingston, Ontario, with like 80 people in the pews. It's like, what the? Nobody's heard of this fella. Nobody checks out the Polaris Prize shortlist. Feels so good. I don't know, Justin Apollo, if you're still here. I made the mistake of doubling down too much on variety and had no banter. I was playing 15 new games a week, and the only thing coming out of my mouth was like, oh, I guess when we get this, we'll get a double jump. Feels so good to be playing just something where you can lock the fuck in. Yeah, I was Let's Playing, and it felt bad. You're not locked in? I'm locked in on commentary. Gameplay-wise, like, who gives a fuck? You're 31 years old. What do you mean I'm not locked in on the gameplay? When he picks a random agent, it's mine. Everybody's got to pay the iron price. You know what's funny is, like, you would win arguments online back in the day by, like, suggesting that the person you're arguing with was, like, 5 years older than you. But like, the older you get, the more insane it sounds. So now I'm like 36, and I'm like, man, you sound like you're like 44 years old. Which is like functionally basically the same age that I am. Yeah, there's no, I'm not being a poser here. There's basically no difference. It's a little older. I don't think anyone would deny that it's a little older, but it's not that much different. 44 is younger than 36 if you think about it. So I will plus 2 the spirit of your take, but I disagree with the specific one you have. I think 40... I think 50 even is younger than 36. I feel like when you turn 40, That's the like societally accepted, like, I'm now officially old. I'm what young people think of as old. I'm 40. Then so that's old. And 49 might be like almost the oldest you can get until you're like maybe 65. But I think when you turn 50, my impression of 50, my stereotype is more like you're not at the end of your youth, you're at the start of the next chapter of your life. So you're the youngest old person, which makes you younger than someone who's 40, who is like the oldest young person. It happens, man. Like if you're in high school and you're 18, you're old. But 4 months later, you go to college, you're older, but you're younger because you're a freshman. And the same thing happens a little bit like as you get older too. 30 is older than 29, but 31 is younger than both. Because by the time you're 31, you should be at the point where you're like accepting that you're in your 30s and like you're not that old. You're allowed to have like a couple months when you turn 30 where you're like, fuck, I'm 30 and I haven't like written my masterpiece or whatever. But then when you're 31, you're like, damn, I'm not even close to 40 yet. Look at these 29-year-olds. They're almost old. I'm still young as fuck. No, 29 is not the oldest you'll ever be. I think it might be the oldest you'll be for a bit. But like certainly someone who's like 86 years old is older than someone who's 29. Let's not be ridiculous. Like we can have a conversation here, but let's stay grounded in some degree of reality, okay? What if you die when you're 29? That is fucked up. I often think about how like I don't believe in heaven or hell, but fear them as well or whatever. But it seems fucked up that like one person texting and driving can like end your one life on Earth, that like you as a composition of atoms that is now, you know, calcified into an individual via repeating opinions and behaviors and stuff like that. It seems crazy and that's why we should honestly think about upping the death penalty. Because if I have to lose my life because like one dude's texting and driving and then that dude loses his license for a year or something like that and his insurance goes up, that hardly seems fucking fair. I only had one shot, bro, and he snuffed out my candle so briefly. And this dude's gonna, but he grieved, he was sad for like a year. Meet me in the cosmos is all I'm saying. It just doesn't seem fair. If it's an accident, if you're like just bad at driving and you hit me with your car and I die, then like whatever, 10 years, supermax. If you make a mistake like texting and driving or drunk driving and you hit me, do they still do? I know some places still have the electric chair. Do they have the ones with the levers? I don't want it to be like someone clicks their mouse on like a button on a computer and it's like zzz. I want it to be like some dude has to grab like a fucking like like a broom handle, right? It goes and then so I don't even know if this makes sense, but there's sparks coming out of the handle like while he pulls it, almost as if it's like the friction of the handle going down that catalyzes the electricity traveling into the helmet in the first place. It's like yeah, or like they can only do it like when it's storming above the prison. They're like, go, go, go. They say the clouds are going to pass in 10 minutes. We don't have time for this. So let's just get him in the... Yeah, and then after he fucking... Like he pulls the lever down and he slams it. Like he flies backwards with no... Like he doesn't dip at all. Like he flies like a line drive backwards against the wall. And he goes like, "Coo!" Like he hits the wall with all of his limbs outstretched and then slides straight down like they cranked gravity up to like 10x. And then like dust flies up from the floor. But then the electricity doesn't take right away. Like the dude is so evil that he can't get killed by lightning. So he's kind of like he's fighting back against the electricity and like the lights are going out. Like the light bulbs are exploding and shit. And like... And like you can see like he's gripping the manacles so hard that like the wood on the chair is starting to splinter and stuff. Like Sick. I paused it so he'd stick the hold, but then he let go of the hold. Maybe you're evil? He hit me with his car while he was texting and driving. And ruined my one chance of living. Snuffed out my candle so briefly. He's a bad guy. Yeah. Wait till you see what he posted on Truth Social. Yeah. Plus, he's a golfer. He was texting his pregnant wife. Yeah, look up the text. Here, I got the text. It says, fuck you and your baby. Beep. Lol, I just killed a guy. I just killed a really good guy with a family. Lol. And I'm immune to electricity. No electricity can kill me, so it's a perfect crime. That's the guy you're rooting for? That's your man's? All right, let me see if Kate's live. Justin, I see your posts. I'm sorry to tell you, I don't know what you're going to look like when you're 74. But you, in my head, aged up, kind of looks like Marcel Dion, which is not an insult. The fact that people keep calling it an insult is pissing me off. He's a professional athlete. He's not like a scrub either. Like, he's not a replacement level player. The dude literally is in the top 10 career points in the NHL. Apollo, you're gonna seriously look at that picture and say it doesn't even look a little bit like Justin? Like 15%? That's all I needed. Thank you for that. Now my watch has ended. Anyone ever own America the book? Owned it in college? Oh, to be in college. Wait, I was gonna say to be in college with the 2008 election happening, but then I was like, wait a minute, that's fucking me, dude. And it was exactly as sweet as you thought it was. Who'd you vote for? This was in the U.S. This was back when you could only vote once as a Canadian, voting in the U.S. election. They patched that. Now you can do 25 times. But you go into a John McCain party is so funny. Well, first off, the way you phrase it like that makes it seem like I was rooting for John McCain, which I wasn't. I was like, politics doesn't matter. Whoever wins, it doesn't change anything. No, I was like, we're going to do it, Canada. We're going to elect Obama. We're going to do it. I went to the party. This is the Cliff Notes. The party was hosted by my friend's girlfriend, who was an art major. She had lots of art major friends at the party. I thought for sure we were all on the same page until the first results started pouring in, and we were going, woo, like, well, we got New York, obviously. And they were going, oh, fuck, they got New York. And I was like, what the fuck? John McCain art students? That Canadian John McCain supporting art students in the 2008 election? Like, this exists? No, I think it was just a couple people. I don't think it was like the whole crew there. Wow, we were eating like fucking crudité and shit, man. I should have known. Crudité? We were eating crudité at a university party. I should have known. The writing was on the wall, but I was naive back then. Anyway, I'll send you over to my wife's stream. They're chill though. I don't know them. I don't know. I only met them the one time, and we were not invited back, man. Anyway, good night, y'all. Christian Filter be like, you're on to something. Pray on my airplane, pray on my airplane, my God is there, my God is there. I feel like I'm reborn. And I feel like I'm reborn. And you gotta keep it in there. Kicking and screaming. You wanna read my scripture? You wanna read my scripture? I go to parties and sleep on the floor. I go to windows but only find doors. They think I'm crazy, but I have a good time. Life's been good to me so far. That one John Lennon song about women. Women, I want to be a woman. I got the feeling of love. Yeah, you're talking to me. You see right through me. You got the visions of love. That one, he's a woman, you know what I mean. That's not what John Lennon sounds like. You got to set me free, yeah. And then